The Health Panel of the House of Representatives probes the Duterte government's response to the pandemic, highlighting the administration's mishandling of the health crisis. On Tuesday, March 30, Quezon 4th District Representative and Health Panel Chair Angelina Tan says there's so much room for improvement in the government's pandemic response. Representative Sharon Garin urges pandemic officials to try harder as the government owes it to the people. Lawmakers point out, the Philippines is underreporting its virus cases by counting only RT-PCR tests in its national count. During the hearing, the Health Department announces it will start counting cases confirmed through antigen tests in the NCR Plus bubble. Contact tracing czar and Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong also notes, the contact tracing system in the country is worsening. He says contact tracing is practically non-existent in many regions, with fewer people being contacted to isolate, to prevent further infections. Officials of specialty hospitals also testify about the situation on ground, saying not only are medical facilities already full, healthcare workers are also being infected. A doctor advocating for the use of antiparasitic drug Ivermectin claims to have sold the drug he made on his own, even without a permit. He says the drug is preventive treatment of COVID-19. At the House Health Panel hearing Tuesday, March 30, Dr. Alan Landrito says he made Ivermectin pills on his own before selling thousands of bottles across the country. Landrito is the most popular proponent for Ivermectin as COVID-19 treatment in the Philippines.
I was able to give more than 25,000 bottles. So I'm divided by maybe three for a patient. 8,000 patients is very conservative number. I compounded it myself. I bought pure Ivermectin from an importer and compounded it myself and gave it to my patients.
Asked if he had a permit to compound drugs and permit to distribute, Landrito says he did not. He says he is still applying to be a distributor of Ivermectin, but a recent GMA News report says the FDA allegedly delayed acting on his application.
We are in the middle of the pandemic. I cannot have scope of time to apply for any of those permits. My patients are begging me to treat them. I'm just giving treatment to patients, prophylaxis, early treatment. If they want to put me behind bars for this, it doesn't matter. No?
Ivermectin is not yet approved by the Food and Drug Administration or FDA in the Philippines. FDA Director General Eric Domingo says, what's commercially available in the country is the topical cream, which can only be applied on human skin. But the topical cream is used for the treatment of external parasites such as head lice. World Health Organization representative to the Philippines, Dr. Rabindra Abeyasinghe, also stresses the need for carefully controlled and planned clinical trials of Ivermectin before it could be used to treat COVID-19 in the country.
What we are actually creating is a false confidence. People that if they take Ivermectin, they are going to be protected. And that could actually be harmful.
Police raid the office of Alyansa ng Magbubukid sa Gitnang Luzon in Pampanga by virtue of a search warrant early morning Tuesday, March 30. They arrest Karapatan Central Luzon Paralegal May Arcilia and Bayan Central Luzon Chairperson Paul Villuya in Bamban, Tarlac. And Kilusang Magbubukid ng Pilipinas Vice Chairperson Joseph Canlas in Mexico, Pampanga. Calabarzon Police meantime raid the former Union House of Alyansa ng mga manggagawa sa Enclavo in Santa Rosa, Laguna. They were supposed to serve a search warrant against labor leader Marites Santos David for alleged possession of firearms and explosives. But she was not in the area during the operations. Authorities claim they seized firearms from the Union House, but Kilusang Mayo Uno refutes this and says the police planted the ammunition. Also allegedly recovered from the former Union House are alleged subversive documents and paraphernalia. Actress Ellen Adarna announces her engagement to actor Derek Ramsay Tuesday night, March 30. Posting photos on her Instagram account, Ellen writes, "Game over." She shows off her engagement ring as she covers Derek's face. There is also a photo of the couple in front of a neon sign that says, "Will you marry me?" Other photos show Ellen and Derek posing with their kids from previous relationships. On Wednesday, March 31, Derek shares photos of his proposal to Ellen along with a message for his new fiancée. He says their chemistry has been undeniable from the start. The chemistry between us that has left me reeling at times has made me see, feel, and grasp this unexplainably deep love I now have. The two confirmed they were a couple in late February 2021, but were rumored to be dating since January. Derek was previously married to model Mary Christine Jolly, with whom he has a son. Ellen was previously in a relationship with actor John Lloyd Cruz. She gave birth to their son, Elias, in 2018. In the United States, police arrest the man suspected of attacking an elderly Filipino-American woman in New York City. The man punched and kicked a 65-year-old woman outside a building on Monday, March 29. He knocked her to the ground and stamped at least 3 times on her head. He also made anti-Asian statements. The Washington Post reports, a separate police statement named the suspect as Brandon Elliott. The police report says Elliott was already on lifetime parole for murdering his mother. New York police charged him with felony assault as a hate crime. Meantime, K-pop idol group BTS speaks out against the wave of violence against Asians. In a tweet Tuesday, March 30, the group members recall their own experiences of discrimination. We have endured expletives without reason and were mocked for the way we look. We were even asked why Asians spoke in English. They acknowledge their experiences are, quote-unquote, inconsequential compared to the recent violent incidents experienced by Asian Americans in the United States. But those experiences were enough to make them feel powerless. They used the popular hashtags #StopAsianHate and #StopAAPIHate, and right? We stand against racial discrimination. We condemn violence. You, I, and we all have the right to be respected. We will stand together. Their statement comes weeks after a gunman killed 8 people, mostly Asian women, in 3 shootings in massage parlors in Atlanta, Georgia. BTS is one of the biggest K-pop acts today, building a strong following of fans from all over the world. It is not the first time the group spoke out against hate crimes and discrimination against minority groups. BTS and its management company, Big Hit, donated $1 million to the Black Lives Matter movement.